Venus is the second planet from the Sun and is Earth's closest planetary neighbor. It's one of the four inner, terrestrial, or rocky, planets, and it's often called Earth's twin because it's similar in size and density. These are not identical twins, however, there are radical differences between the two worlds. Venus has a thick, toxic atmosphere filled with carbon dioxide, and it's perpetually shrouded in thick, yellowish clouds of sulfuric acid that trap heat, causing a runaway greenhouse effect. It's the hottest planet in our solar system, even though Mercury is closer to the Sun. Surface temperatures on Venus are about 900 degrees Fahrenheit, 475 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. The surface is a rusty color and it's peppered with intensely crunched mountains and thousands of large volcanoes. Scientists think it's possible some volcanoes are still active. Venus has crushing air pressure at its surface, more than 90 times that of Earth, similar to the pressure you'd encounter a mile below the ocean on Earth. Another big difference from Earth, Venus rotates on its axis backward, compared to most of the other planets in the solar system. This means that, on Venus, the Sun rises in the west and sets in the east, opposite to what we experience on Earth. It's not the only planet in our solar system with such an oddball rotation. Venus was the first planet to be explored by a spacecraft. NASA's Mariner 2 successfully flew by and scanned the cloud-covered world on December 14, 1962. Since then, numerous spacecraft from the US and other space agencies have explored Venus, including NASA's Magellan, which mapped the planet's surface with radar. Soviet spacecraft made the most successful landings on the surface of Venus to date, but they didn't survive long due to the extreme heat and crushing pressure. An American probe, one of NASA's Pioneer Venus multi-probes, survived for about an hour after impacting the surface in 1978. More recent Venus missions include ESA's Venus Express, which orbited from 2006 until 2016, and Japan's Akatsuki Venus Climate Orbiter, orbiting since 2016. NASA's Parker Solar Probe has made multiple flybys of Venus. On February 9, 2022, NASA announced the spacecraft had captured its first visible light images of the surface of Venus from space during its February 2021 flyby. Veritas, NASA's Veritas, or Venus Emissivity, Radio Science, in SAR, Topography, and Spectroscopy, will be the first NASA spacecraft to explore Venus since the 1990s. The spacecraft will launch no earlier than December 2027. It will orbit Venus, gathering data to reveal how the paths of Venus and Earth diverged, and how Venus lost its potential to be a habitable world. Da Vinci, NASA's Da Vinci mission will launch in the late 2020s. After exploring the top of Venus's atmosphere, Da Vinci will drop a probe to the surface. On its hour-long descent, the probe will take thousands of measurements and snap up-close images of the surface. The probe may not survive the landing, but if it does, it could provide several minutes of bonus science. Envision, ESA has selected Envision to make detailed observations of Venus. As a key partner in the mission, NASA is providing the synthetic aperture radar, called VEN-SAR, to make high-resolution measurements of the planet's surface features.